when you're in your 20s, you get into this thing that I like to call your gray zone. The gray zone is when you don't know what to do with your life. You have an idea, you're trying to chase after it, but you do not know. You're trying to do all these things, but man, this is not really working, so you have to scratch that. Try something else. Man, this is not really working. You see all your friends, and you're like, wow, this person is doing good. How did he do that? You don't have the answers, and you try to tell your friends, you try to speak to somebody, but they don't fully understand because you really want to get ahead of life, but you just don't have the answers. And the thing is, man, a lot of us, what we like to do is we like to distract ourselves in our 20s. Instead of focusing on what's the next move, instead of really understanding what we should be doing to get ahead of life, to get ahead of the people around us, we distract ourselves because nobody likes to stay in this gray zone. This gray zone is uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't even like being in this gray zone because it feels like nothing is going on in your life. It feels like you're stuck. It feels like you're becoming a bum. It feels like you're not accomplishing anything because anything that you try is not working. And when I was in the gray zone, I fell into the same loop that a lot of people do. Started going to the club. I started partying a lot. I started distracting myself with all these fun activities with my boys, doing a bunch of stuff. But at the end of the day, before I went to bed, I would tell myself, man, I am not going anywhere in life. Like, I might become a bum. I might become a loser because there's so many things that I want to do and I just don't have the answers. And the thing is, the reason why I'm making this video, because at some point you're going to end up in the gray zone. I feel like everybody in their 20s, doesn't matter, either you're going to experience it early 20s or late 20s, you're going to feel it where you don't know what the hell to do next. You don't know what to do. You don't know where to go. You're just in the middle. You're lost. You don't have the answers. You know what you want, but to get from point A to point B or to point B to point A, you don't know. And the thing is, distracting yourself is going to seem like the best solution. You know what? I'm young. Let me go party. You know what? I'm young. Let me go chill with the girls. You know what? I'm young. Let me do all these things. But the thing is, I feel like your 20s, and this is a me opinion, like my opinion, I feel like in your 20s, it's the best time ever. You have the energy. You're young. You can lose a ton of money, and guess what? You can make it back. Because why? Because you're young, right? You got to use your age as an advantage. Because if you do that when you're 30, if you do that when you're 40, if you do that when you have kids, if you do that, whatever, it might not be as easy. It might be slightly harder because you might have more responsibilities down the road. And a lot of people are going to tell you, yo, let's do this, young, let's do that. I love going to like a trip with my boys. I love going to a good party. But every single weekend, every single week, every single month, that's a little bit crazy. Because the thing is, there are certain things that I want you to know that you should be chasing for. And why not fail in your 20s as many times so when you do get into your late 20s or even 30s, you don't fail as much? Why not try to educate yourself on all these areas that you don't know, even though it's tired, it's boring, it's whatever. In your 20s, when you have the energy, when you have the time, when you have all this money that you're kind of making that you don't know what to do with it, just so when you do get down the road in the future, you're going to know what to do. Because the thing is, I've seen people, and you've probably seen people too, that you've run into, and they're probably in their 30s, in their 40s, and you ask them, yo, how's life? And they're like, man, life sucks. And they're going to go on a whole new thing about life and blah, 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 because when they were younger, they were too busy on focusing on girls. They were too busy clubbing that they never really made the time to get their life together. So this is where I'm going to tell you, you're going to be in the gray zone, but I need you to understand that the gray zone is just a gray zone. Everybody at some point get into the gray zone. And when you do get into the gray zone, do not be afraid. Do not kind of like shy away and try to distract yourself because this gray zone feels uncomfortable. Here's something that I do, and I still do it because the gray zone is still something that I'm in right now. I'm in my gray zone. The gray zone, this is how I look at it. It's a place where I'm going to try multiple things and I'm going to fail. I'm going to try to get into my career job and I might not get in. I'm going to try to get into another job and I'm not going to get in. I'm going to try a side hustle. This side hustle is going to fail. I'm going to try to do whatever I possibly want to do, and it's just not going to work. But here's the thing about the gray zone. Just because it's not working right now doesn't mean that it's never going to work. And the thing is, the time that I'm using right now in the gray zone is for the things that I want to be able to be successful in 5 to 7 years from now, because these are the things that matter to me. Yes, I will go to a few parties with my boys. Yes, I will go to a few trips with my boys, because we all need to have fun. You can't just be locked up and just being locked in all the time. But it's just not every single week, not every single month I'm going to be doing that. And that is what I want you to understand. It's that being in the gray zone is not a bad thing. Take advantage of it, because this gray zone that you're going to experience in your 20s could be the best thing ever, because this is where you're going to find yourself. This is where you're going to know who are your real friends and who are your fake friends. This is where you might feel lonely. This is where you're going to be sad. This is where you're going to feel a little bit depressed because you're not where you want to be in life. But I assure you, everybody is dealing with that. Everybody has been there. And the people that have been there are going to tell you all the time. Just embrace it. Take it all in. Be like a sponge. Learn. Try, fail. And something is going to click. And the more you keep going, the better. Because if you don't deal with it now, you're going to deal with it later. And if you don't deal with it in your late 20s, you're going to deal with it in your 30s. And if you don't deal with it in your 30s, you're going to deal with it in your 40s. The sooner you deal with it, and the sooner you figure yourself out, and the sooner you confront yourself, the better. That is the best way that I can tell you, because I'm telling you, the gray zone sucks. I'm in it right now. It sucks. But it's just how you look at it. Is this real? Is this where I'm going to be for the rest of my life? No. This is just where I'm at right now. Do I like it? No, I don't like it. But there's a lesson to be learned in this that I haven't yet found. And the more I keep trying things, and the more I keep believing that, there's a better day, there's a better thing that's going to come, I just don't know when, the more energy that I'm going to have to keep going. And the more that I'm going to believe in myself, because I know that everybody has been in this gray zone. So that's why I'm making this video, because eventually you're going to feel it. And when you do, don't distract yourself. Embrace it, use it, take advantage of it, learn, fail, try again, be a sponge, and that is it. That's all you need. Yeah. Anyways, if you like this video, like, subscribe, and share it to a friend. Thank you for watching.